Rashi, Torah portion VaYishlach. We continue with the fifth reading. With Yaakov, with his family, now in Shechem. Okay. He's come back to the land of Israel. The Dina, and Dina went out. Bas Leah, the daughter of Leah, Sheyolda, the Yaakov that was born to Yaakov, Liras, B'nai Haaretz, to observe the girls of the land. Rashi. So Rashi picks up on the fact that the Torah tells us she's the daughter of Leah. That's all we know that. Usually, it would be the lineage by the father. So why is it saying the mother over here? Sorry, 1 second. Says Rashi, Bas Leah, Loi Bas Yaakov, and not the daughter of Yaakov, Ella al Shem. It's Yasa because of going out. Nikras Bas Leah, she's called the daughter of Leah. Shafi, it's on Yitzaisa. She too would Leah would go out. Shinemar takes Leah Likrosa as Leah went to greet him. And this is the aphorism that's coined, Kima Kabita, like mother, like daughter. In other words, she had the same temperament. Oh. Our annual matching campaign. Sorry. Okay. That's okay. Okay. The Yar saw, and he saw her, Shechem. He saw Dinah. Shechem, ben Chamor, the son of Chamor, Achivi, the Chivit. Nasi Aretz, who Chamor is the chief of the region. Nasi Aretz. Yikach Oisa, and he took her. He took Dinah. V'yishka Oisa v'yaneha. And he took her and raped her and abused her. Rashi, V'yishka Oisa, Kedarka, in the usual manner. Yaneha, Shaloi Kedarka, in an unusual manner, in raping her. Batidbak Nafshay, and his soul cleaved. Bedina in Dina, Bas Yaakov, the daughter of Yaakov, is Naira, and he loved the maiden, Vidaber El Lev Naira, and he spoke to the heart of the girl. Al Lev Naira, Rashi, to the heart of the maiden, things that would, appeal to her heart, in other words. See how much money your father expended on a small plot of land. But if I marry you, and I will acquire the city, and all of the fields. In other words, going to get a good bargain marrying me. And Shem said to Chamor, Aviv, his father, Lamor, saying, Kachli is al Slisha, take this girl for me for a wife. Yaakov Shama. And when Yaakov heard Kitima is Dina, that defiled Dina, Bita, his daughter, born of Hayu Es Miknehu Basada, while his sons were in the field with the livestock. Yaakov, Adbayam, and Yaakov was quiet until they arrived. He didn't do anything, right? Didn't say anything. Yetze Chamor, and Chamor came out. Avi Shechem, the father of Shechem, El Yaakov to Yaakov, L'daber Ito, to speak to him. Right? He wants his son to marry his daughter. Right? Yaakov, and the sons of Yaakov came in. I saw them from the field, Kishomam, and when they heard right? What Shem had done to Dinah. Yizyatzu Anoshim, and they were very upset. Yichar lehemayim, and they're very angry, incensed. Yeah, that's probably a good word, incensed, deeply incensed. Moed. Kinavol also because um uh he translates it by raping. No. Avol means a disgusting thing. Also, Israel was done to Israel, meaning their father, right? Nishgav is Baz Yaakov, to lie with the daughter of Yaakov, Achein lo yaseh, and such a thing is not to be done, right? By the way, in the Torah studies, we learned over here that we learned that, you're not allowed to rape as an Ochide law, as opposed to, right? Rashi in 7, such in Lasi says, Lana is absolute to violate virgins. Because the nations restricted themselves from sexual immorality al yedei amabel because of the flood, right? Because of the flood, so they took upon themselves. We had 7 Nochide laws before that, and this was something that was added. Verse number 7. Can you see the clock that the time wasn't changed there? Stand on a chair and change the time. See, thank you. And Chamor spoke with them, Lamor, saying, Shchem beni, Shchem, my son, he desires a soulful desire for your daughter. Give her, please her to him, Lisha, for a wife. Chashka chavta, desires. Ve'his chatnu oisanu b'neseinu b'neseichem titnu lanu v'b'neseinu tichu lachem, and we will get married between us, right? You have the booklet over there. Okay. Even better. So give us your daughters and take our daughters for yourself, right? And others we'll get married between each other. V'itanu teishvu, and you will dwell amongst us. Va'aretz lifneichem, and the land will be before you. Ishvu, that you can settle it. V'sachrua, and that you could trade in it. V'yahachzuba, and you can acquire holdings in it. Verse number 11. And Shem said El Aviha, to her father, and to her brothers, if I find favor in your eyes, and that which you ask, right, that whatever you tell me, right, meaning for a dowry, I will give. Put upon exceedingly very much a mohar. Mohar means a dowry or a bridal contract. It translates over here. Okay. Or matan. Or matan, which is gifts, like matana we had. And I will give it according to your to what you say. Eli to me. Snuli as a naira, and give to me the girl Isha for a wife. Moihar ksuba, a marriage contract. 13. Yanu b'nei Yaakov, and they replied, the sons of Yaakov, Shchem to Shchem, Chamor, of even to Chamor his father, B'mirma, in a cunning way. V'idabru, and they spoke. Asher tima is Dina Chaisam, for he defiled their sister Dina. B'mirma Rashi b'chochma, with wisdom, astutely. asher time, hakosav emer shaloi haisa remia. So defiled. So the Torah is telling us that this is not considered deceit, sharei time is dina chaisam, because they defiled their sister. Okay. Hmm. V'yomer aleihim, v'yomer aleihim. So the brothers, they said to them, "Leinu chala says adavar. We can't do such a thing. Hazeh, this thing. La says seinu, to give our sister leish to a man asher lo arla, that has a that's uncircumcised. Ki cherpa hilanu, because this is a disgrace for us." Rashi 14. Right. Cherpa. It's a disgusting thing to us. Shemesh psulhu etzleinu. This is a taint of disrepute. Someone who comes to insult his friend, it says, "Oralata, you're uncircumcised." Right? That's a or ben oral, you're the son of an uncircumcised. Cherpa, chomakim giduv. Whenever you use the word cherpa, it's a vilification. In the vilification, yeah. 15. V'zeis na'ais lachem. But with this, however, with this, we can assent to you, im to you, kamainu, if you'll be like us, the himayel, to circumcise lachem kol zachar, to every single male. Now, it's not just him, right? No, is lachem, if you will acquiesce, nisratz lachem, we will comply with you. Excuse me. Lashon ye also hakayhanim. The Kohanim agreed. Just give you another example, meaning to acquiesce, to agree. Lihimoil, to have every male circumcised. Liyas nimol, that they should beat circumcised. In a lashon lifoil doesn't mean the expression to act as a verb. A lashon lifoil, but to act upon and a passive verb. In other words, they should be circumcised. 16. And also, and we will then give is when I say no, our daughters, lachem, to you. That's when I say him, and your daughters, nikach lana, will take to us. Yashav, no, itchem, and we will settle amongst you. I know lamechan will be to a single nation. Oh la la. Rashi 16. V'nosnu, and we will give nun shnei mugdashes. The second nun has a dogish in it. Lefi shehu shemeshes v'ach v'shtei nunim. And also nonu. Okay, some grammar. Fast when I say nikach lonu, and your daughters we will take for ourselves. Atamate, so you find v'tanaisha amar chamor leYaakov. In the stipulation that Chamor said to Yaakov, v'tshuvas b'nei Yaakov lechamor, and the response of the sons of Yaakov to Chamor. Right, Chamor is the father of Shechem. Shetoli chashivas b'nei Yaakov, that they hung and attributed the great significance upon the sons of Yaakov. Likal b'nei Shechem, to take the daughters of Shechem, es yivcharu lahem, those that they choose for themselves, b'nei Seihem, and their own daughters, nitnu lahem, they would give to them, lefi daitam, according to their own opinion, as they saw fit, in other words. It says in us and that we will give our daughters, which implies lefi daitenu, according to our opinion, as we see fit. This when I say chem nikach, and your daughters we will take to ourselves, which implies kechol asher nachvayitz, according to that which our desire. But when Chamor and Shechem, his son, spoke, Al Yeshua Iram to the residents of the city, Havko Advarim, they turned around the words and said, is when a Sam, Nikachlana, and the Nashim will take their daughters for ourselves as wives. Is when I say Nitan Lahem, and we'll give our daughters to them. They're at in order to appease them, limal, in order that they should consent to be circumcised.
Well, I have a little question.
Yeah.
First of all, um, isn't it supposed to be the father who gives somebody a daughter in marriage at that time, as opposed to the sons? Why would the sons be doing this against their father's knowledge? But
Well, for
Jacob
father
didn't
is.
know. He didn't know. We didn't find out until after the fact.
Oh, Jacob is there right now. Jacob
Jacob
is
is
there.
here right now.
He's there. He's part of the conversation.
He's part of the
It's
conversation.
part of the conversation. The brothers, as Rashi said, acted, with guile, right? Because they're going to get everybody circumcised, so therefore they're very weak. And then on the third day, well, we're going to see what's going to happen over here, right? So,
Yeah.
they that was their plan, not the
So
father's plan.
Jacob
It
was
wasn't
actually
Jacob's
there.
plan. He was there, but it wasn't Jacob's plan. That's why right.
Wasn't Jacob's plan to give his daughter, or Jacob's plan to kill the?
Right, to kill them.
So his plan was to give the daughter, or
No,
one or the other?
no, he wasn't. He didn't participate in that conversation. So what was his plan? I don't know. It's a good question. Let's continue. Maybe we'll see what comes up. Ve'im lo yisishmu aleinu, and if you will not, heed us, limol, to circumcise yourselves, the kafna is b'itena v'halachna. Then we'll take our father's daughter and we'll leave, right? And okay, you don't want, and we'll just leave. And it was good, their words in the eyes of Hamor, the father of Shechem, right? Shechem, ben Hamor, and Shechem, the son of Hamor. And the young man didn't delay to do this thing. He chafetz b'bas Yaakov because he really desired the daughter of Yaakov. Oh, nichmad. We call Beis Aviv, and he is the most honored, respected person in his father's household. Yavar Chamor, Ushchem Benoi, and Hamor came with Shechem, his son, El Shar Iram, to the gates of the city. Right, that's where official business took place. Yidavril Anshe Iram Lemar, and they spoke to the men of the city, saying, "Anashimelas, what did they say? These men, Shleimim Hem, they came in peace, Itana, with us. The Yeshua Baaretz, and let them live in the land." And that they should do trade in the land. And the land itself, behold, the land has got ample room, right, for them. There's been some, and their daughters, Nikachlana, we will take for us. For Rashi, you remember, he said they changed the order, right, in order to get the people to agree to the bris. We'll take their daughters, Lanashim, for wives. This is saying new, Nitan Lahem, and we will give our daughters to them. Rashi in 21. They are peaceable, meaning Bishalom, in peace, B'lev Shalom, and with a whole heart. Right, that's the way they perceive things. And the land, behold, it is broad of hands, is the literal translation. Like a person whose hands are broad, meaning who's generous. To Ranis and like a spendthrift. Kalaimar, to say, as if to say, you won't lose a thing. Because a lot of trade is going to come here. And it has no customers. I mean, people in the surrounding area bring more goods to market then they can sell. Therefore, allowing Jacob's family to sell in Shechem would not drive up the prices because in other words, there's too much on the market with them around, so there'll be more buyers. So it's going to be good. It's interesting how Rashi gets that from those words. There's no alternate parking. It's December 1st. December 1st until April, there's no alternate side parking.
Oh, okay.
Right? However, with this condition, we will be they will consent to us. That the man will dwell with us, to be one nation. When we will circumcise us. Every male, just as they are also circumcised. Being circumcised. 23. And their livestock, the kinyanim and all of their possessions, behemtam and all of their animals, will they not be ours? So let's just agree to their condition, and they will live amongst us. Rashi, so let us just agree to their condition, this particular thing. So through this condition, they will live amongst us. Okay. The Ishmael Chamor, and they listen to Chamor Ve'el Shechem Benoy and to Shechem, his son, Kol Yetzei Shar Yira, all those that come out of the gate of the city, Yimolu, and they circumcise, Kol Zocher, every male, Kol Yetzei Shar Yira, all those who come out of the gates of the city. It's an interesting expression, to come out of the gates of the city. Anyways, just means people of the city, but of that town, right?
Many people?
Doesn't say. It was on the third day, when they were in pain, Yaakov, Shimon and Levi, and they took the two sons of Yaakov, Shimon and Levi, Achei Dina, the brothers of Dina, each a man his sword, v'yavayu el ha'ir, and they came to the city, betach, with confidence, Yahargil kol zocher, and they killed every male. Rashi 25. Ooh la la. Shnei b'nei Yaakov, the two sons of Yaakov of Hayu, they were his sons. Alpha Piki, nonetheless, Nogo Atzman Kishimon and Levi, they conduct themselves as a Shimon and Levi, Kishar Nashim, like other men, She'enim Banav, that are not his sons, Shaloi not lo Eitza Himenu, because they didn't seek advice from him. They did it on their own without their father's advice. Right?
Sounds like people other than Shimon and Levi were actually doing the killing.
No, it's just Shimon and Levi who did it. The point that, because it says the two sons of Yaakov, Shimon and Levi, right?
Friends?
No.
Two of his sons.
It says the two. Why do you have to say two sons of Yaakov? You could just say Shimon and Levi. We know they're two sons. We know that they're two sons of Yaakov, right? So Rashi is bothered by that statement. So what he's saying is that they are his sons, but they didn't conduct themselves as a son, because a son asks permission for such a thing to do from a father, right? You don't go ahead and do this without permission, right? In other words, they acted like Shimon and Levi, not like two sons, right? That's what Rashi is saying over here.
In other words, they didn't respect their father.
Well, they didn't respect their father to take permission for what they were doing, right? That, yeah, specifically to this, right? So Achi Dina, they were the brothers of Dina. Why they say that? Why does it say we know this? Because they risked themselves for her. Nikra Achel, therefore they're referred to as their brothers. Betach, they came confidently. Shahiu Koyavim, because the men of Shechem, they were in great pain because of the circumcision. That's a simple meaning, Midrash Agoda, but according to the Midrash, Tuchim Hayu Al they were confident in the power Shelzokin of the elder, meaning Yaakov. They didn't take permission from him, but they went with his strength. Right? There's Chamor, there's Shem Benai Hargo, and Chamor and Shem, his son, they killed. The Ficharev by the sword. Yichu is Dinah, and they took Dinah, the Beis Shem from the house of Shem, the Yetzu, and they left. Rashi ubnei Yaakov ba'u ala chalonim v'yavozu ha'ir asher timu achaisam, and the sons of Yaakov came to strip the slain of their possessions and plunder the city that they filed their sister. Al chalolim. Mefashe chalolim, meaning to strip the slain from whatever they had on them. The slain of his bakaram and their flock and their cattle, his chamarehem, and their donkeys, as called Ba'ir, and everything that was in the city, as called Besada, Lachu, and everything in the field they took. That's called Chelam, and all of their monies, that's Tapam, and their children, as Neshem, and their wives, or their women, the women rather. Shvu v'yavaizu. Shavu v'yavaizu. They plundered, it's called a Sheva Vayis, and everything that was in the house. Rashi in 29. Helam, this refers to Mamainim, their wealth. Hein also the Chayal Hazeh, Yisrael Loisachayil. Okay, just giving an example. Shvu, Shavu, okay, I'm sorry. Shavu, they took captive. Lashon Shviya, captivity, okay. Didn't read that properly. Verse 30. Yomer Yaakov el Shimon, and Yaakov said to Shimon Levi and to Levi, Avartim Aisi. So no, Achartim Aisi, I said Avartim, no. Achartim Aisi. Like, yeah, it says like taking away one's comfort, my peace of mind. Yeah, I see Bavisheni, and you have done something odious, for those who settle the land, the Kanani, by the Canaanites, Prizi, Ani Mispar, Mesi Mispar, and as for me, we're only few in numbers, right? And as for Allah, if they all gather together, and other nations, if they will gather together after what you just did, they will then attack me in the Shmarati on the Ovasi, and then myself and family will be wiped out. So he says that it's a terrible thing what you did, odious, right? And furthermore, now it's gonna, others are gonna come up against us because of this. Rashi in 30, Achartem, you have a decomposed. Lashem Mayim Achurim, it made things cloudy. My mind isn't clear now. That's right. In others, you've clouded my mind because of what you did. In the Agada explanation, Slulim Haisa Chavis, when a wine in a barrel was clear, and then he made it cloudy. There was a tradition amongst the Canaanites, Shiplu biyad b'nei Yaakov, that they would fall into the hands of the children of Yaakov. So it's a tradition by the Canaanites, Shiplu biyad b'nei Yaakov, that they would fall into the hands of the children of Jacob. But they would say that it would not happen until Israel would be fruitful and make the land your heritage, meaning sometime in the future, when they would be a more populous nation. Therefore, they were silent, did not object to Yaakov and the family dwelling in the land of Canaan. Second, try to get some clarity over here. So the Canaanites were a little concerned now. They knew and eventually the land of Israel is going to be for the Jewish people. But they're a small clan now, didn't expect it now. So that clouded them, right? That clouded them.
Part of them,
They didn't have a clarity because look, it's starting now.
right?
It's starting now. They didn't think it's starting now, so that brought a confusion. That's what Rashi is saying, right? Eitzim Mizpah, that Anashim Muatim, few in number. So this is what Yaakov said to the son, to Shimon and Levi. Now they respond in 31. Vayomer, so they responded to their father, Shimon and Levi. Hakezena Yasis Achesenu. Should may treat our sister as a Zaina, as a and like Hefker, that she's abandoned. We're going to treat her like she's abandoned. It's Achesenu Zu Yasa Chosa, our sister. Right.
That you both.
Okay.
Well, I volunteered to take Bishop's place at matter.
Oh, at this time?
My wife's son. She is not available to us.
Beautiful.
I have to find someone else if I go forward with that, if he comes back. It is okay.
Okay. Thank you, Zaytizens. See you tomorrow. You may do me a favor. Just shut the doors over here because of the noise out there.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, so in chapter 35, verse number 1. Yaakov, and Hashem said to Yaakov, Kum, get up, Ale, and rise, base Kel, base to Bethel, the Veshev Sham, and live there. I'll say Sham, Mizbeach, and make there an altar, Lekel, to God and Yirei, love that has appeared to you, that has appeared Alecha to you, fleeing when you were fleeing from your brother Esau. Rashi Kuma Ale, Lefi, Shacharta Bederech, Esra Ubalacha, Zais Medbitcha, because you tarried on the way. In other words, you didn't hasten to fulfill your vow to come back, so you were punished, and this terrible thing happened to your daughter. Shh. Wow. Okay. Verse number 2, V'yay Mer Yaakov el Beisa. Yaakov said to his household, El Kol Asher Imay, and all those that were with him, Yisiru me'elokei Nechar, remove all of your idols, right? Because they took from the spoils, right? The non-Jews in Shechem, they took, and they said, remove it. Asher v'seichim, that's amongst you, v'tiaravi, yechalif v'sim leischam, and you should become pure and change your clothing. Rashi, the alien God, that you have in your possession, min hashalom, min Shechem, from the booty of Shechem. V'taro, cleanse yourself, v'avodah from the idols. Chaflifu, simlei, seichem, and change your clothes. Maybe you have a possession that's a garment of idolatry, and you need to get rid of that. Verse number 3, v'nakum v'nalel, base, and we will get up and we'll go to Beis El, Sham, and there I will make an altar to God. Ha'ina that responded to me by Yom Sarasi in the day of my difficulties, my distress. He was with me. But halachti, in the path, in the journey that I took. El Yaakov, and they gave over to Yaakov all of the foreign gods, Shebi Adam, that was in their hands, all of the earrings, and all the earrings, as well as their ears, in their ears rather. Eat my nice Yaakov, and Yaakov buried them im Shechem, and Allah, it's like a non-fruit bearing tree. Im Shechem, Eitzel Shechem, next to Shechem. Vayisu, when they traveled and they set out. Vayi chitas Elokim, and there was the dread of God al Harim, upon the cities, that was surrounding them, and they did not pursue Yaakov. They were fearful. Look what they just did in Shechem. So the inhabitants around were, right? Chitas, dread, pachad. Yaakov Luz, and Yaakov came to Luz, Asher be'eretz Canaan, which is in the land of Canaan. He based Beisel, that's Beisel, who him and all of the entire people with him. Even Shamizbech, and he built there an altar. V'yikra l'makom, and he called to the place Kale, God. Base Kale. Asher Sham, Niglu, that there he revealed a love to him, God. When God revealed himself to him when he was fleeing his brother Esau. Rashi. Bezkel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Bezkel, meaning God in Bethel. Gidli Shechina b'Bez. The revelation of the Shechina, the presence of God in Bethel. Yesh Tevel Chazer b'Bez Hashem b'Reisha. Kama Yehina b'Bez Melchim Yamyonyo. Beniglu, second Rashi, and God revealed himself to him there. In many places, yesh shame, the term of godliness and mastery, v'loshen rabim, is in plural. Yosef, the master, Joseph's master, imbala v'imai, plural form again. V'nemar ba'aloi, also the term of a judge, a morris, an authority, and v'loshen rabim can be mentioned in plural. But in any other of the names of God, plural, you won't find it the lashon havim in a plural. The Thomas of Rivka, and she died. Devora, the wet nurse of Rivka, Tikaver mitachas beis el tachas line mikra my Elon Bochos. So, and she was buried there below the hill by the, it says on the plateau, Metachas. Okay. And Jacob named Alon Bochos a plain of weeping. Rashi, Thomas Devorah. So the wet nurse of Rivka, she died. Ma'in Devorah base Yaakov. What does Devorah have to do with the household of Jacob? Right? Why is Devorah and the El and the you know, Nefisha Amar Rivka, Yaakov, because Rivka said to Yaakov, Shalachti v'lekachti misham, then I will send and bring you from there. Shalcha Devorah Etzla, so she sent Devorah to him, Padon Aram to Padon Aram, let's say Misham, to tell him to depart from there. She died on the way back. Remember, yeah, when he left, after taking the blessings, so she said, I will send word to you. So she did. That was Devorah. And then she, wow. Ptach the base below Bethel. Ha'ir Yeshev is Bahar. It's a city that's situated on the mountain. And she was buried at the foot of the mountain. Tachas Eloin. Below the Eloin. Chipuli Mishra at the bottom of the plain. Shaya Mishra Milamaila. There was a plain above. Vishipu Ahar along the incline of the mountain. Kavura Milamata buried, and the burial was below it. Okay, and the plain is called Beth El Eloi. Bagada, and the Gadic interpretation of Eloi, Shinizbas Sham, the Yaakov was informed over there by Evel Sheni, the second cause of mourning, Shigalosha Imai Mesa, that his mother had died. Beilan Lashin Yavani, it means another. Another cause for mourning. Lefisha Lima says, since they concealed the day of her death, so the people should not curse. Kares Shiyatse, Mimeno Esav, the womb that which Esav emerged. Afakosov, so the Torah, did not publicize her death. Interesting. Biyar, Elohim is Yaakov Eid, Bevoyim Nipadon Ram. So and God again appeared to Yaakov on his way to Padan Aram and blessed him. Oid, Pam Sheni, b'malkum hazeh, second time in this place. Echad b'lechta ve'echad b'shuvay. Once, when he set on the journey, right? Okay, right. That's what he called in the beginning of Parshas Vayetzi when he left. Right, he had the dream of the ladder. And he blessed him the blessings of a consolation for a mourner. Interesting. And God said to him, Shimcha Yaakov lo yikara Shimcha oid Yaakov. Your name Yaakov, you will not be called the name Yaakov, Ki im Israel, but Israel. Yeshmecha will be your name. Yikra Shema Yisrael, and he called his name Israel. Yikara Shimcha lo yikara Shimcha oid Loshen Adam haba b'ma'arev akba el Loshen sar v'nagid. So, right, before your name is Yaakov, meaning you came in a kind of a deceitful way, Yaakveni, right? It was, and now your name is Israel, means you can become a prince and a leader. And God said to him, Anikel, I am God. I'm God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. Goy as a nation, we call Goyim, and a community of nations. Verse number 11 in the fifth reading, actually the end. And kings will come forth from you. Verse number 11, last verse before the sixth reading. Ani Kel Shakai, I am Kel Shakai. Ani Kadai Levarach, it's sufficient for me to bless the brachos shali of my blessing. Adadim is borchim, sufficient for those who are being blessed. Pray to be fruitful and multiply. Al Shem Shadayin Lo Binyamin. Why is he saying that? Because Binyamin, the 12th son, was not yet born, so he's giving a blessing. Even though Rachel was already pregnant with him. Goy, a nation, this refers to Binyamin. Goyim, plural nations, Menashe and Ephraim, it's verse in Menashe and Ephraim, plural. Let's say Yosef will come out of Yosef. Behem, Binyamin Shvatim, and they will be included in the tribes. We had 12 sons, but there will be, Levi will not be counted because the Levites and the Kohanim, and Menashe and Ephraim will be 2 from Yosef. Malachim and kings, Shaul the Ishbaishes. It refers to Shaul and Ishbaishes. Shayim Mishav and Binyamin were tried from Binyamin. They were not yet born. When Ishbaishes was being coronated, the tribes also expounded it. The Kerevu Binyamin, and they reassociated Binyamin after the civil war against that tribe, as it says, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Imad Yaakov, Amalachim Yechazim Yetzu, Koyel Kahal. Last Rashi, a nation, a congregation of nations, for his children are destined to become nations, communion Goyim, like the number of other nations of the world. Shem Shivim 70, there were 70 people at this time. Call a Sanhedrin Shivim, and the Sanhedrin will be of 70 sages. The alternative explanation was nation that the children are destined to bring offerings. Bishas Iser Bamis, in time of prohibition, you're not allowed to go like the nations of the world. In the times of Eliyahu. Anyways, we're over our time. So